Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Diva and I'm a freelance artist from New Zealand. Today's video is a brief tutorial on how I draw bodies, clothes, and basically just getting started with drawing confidently and drawing confident shapes particularly for beginners. Before we get any further though, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that this is just how I draw. This isn't the exact way that you have to draw. There is no exact way that you have to draw it. It is really up to you. You can adapt these methods to your own personal style or just watch a video for fun, I guess. It's up to you. And it's, your own personal preference. Okay, so I just want to mention the materials that I'm using here. I'm using the Hahnemühle sketchbook paper. No, sorry, sketchbook, but it's like a rough sort of sketchbook material. It's not smooth, like my current, like the main one that I use currently. And I'm using just a regular HB graphite pencil. I think the brand was Staedtler. I was showing you guys at the start. So I figured the best way to get started with drawing basic shapes would be through examples. So here on the screen I have decided to draw this cute pose I found on Pinterest, and here I am breaking down the shapes. So basically this is helping our brain to simplify the shapes and like training it to kind of visualize these shapes automatically. So I just put this image into a software that I can just draw on. For me it was Krita on my laptop, and I just went over the pose as you can see here and drew over the basic like the most prominent shapes that you can see. Essentially, drawing the shapes in this simplified form makes it easier to draw a more accurate pose if that is your goal in what you're drawing. Also, if you guys can just see the line on her torso, the curved line, this is actually a concept called the line of action, which I'm sure most of you guys already know, but it is a concept in which artists use to make drawing a body more fluid and dramatic. And I see this in a lot of work, and especially when if you guys see like artists do figure studies, this line of action is basically supposed to make it easier and also more fluid when you are drawing a figure. So in the example I'm using here on the screen, we can see that her body is curved to the left side, and I wanted to essentially show that fluidity in my drawing, so I mapped out that line of action and I'm kind of just drawing in the shapes along it, but making sure that there's always that slight curve. Of course, also, I'm not actually this quick. I am just chopping up the video portions. This would have taken me maybe like 10 or more minutes by now. But just feel free to take your time with it. Okay, so once the basic shapes are filled in, I usually erase them lightly, as I'm doing here, and I add in the more detailed parts or more detailed shape curves and like divots kind of. So that's kind of what I mapped out on this new image, which is that blue outline. And this one is a bit faded in the background because I realized I accidentally drew the first layer, like the red lines, on the actual image, like the background, not on a new layer. But anyway, that's besides the point. Okay, so another tip is to draw lightly when you are sketching the basic shapes. I find that, especially when I was younger and I didn't really draw the shapes. I think I more just like tried to straight up draw the image, which is also a method you can do. I personally prefer mapping out the shapes because I find it easier in my brain to like digest, but there are artists that can just draw straight away without having to do all the shape mapping and all that. But yeah, I guess if you're using graphite, it is easier to erase when you are doing it lighter. So just a little tip for that. Okay, so you will see shortly I start coloring in this girl. Also, if you guys want the link to my Pinterest because I put all of my Pinterest images up on that Pinterest, my main Pinterest board, which is just titled drawings basically. I'll put that link in the description if you guys are curious, but yeah, all my images are from there. But yeah, so now I'm just shading and adding a bit of depth to the drawing. I kind of go in between doing the basic shapes and also details at the same time. So as you can see here, I'm already finalizing her top and her all the little crease details, and I haven't even drawn the basic shapes of her skirt or her stockings or shoes. But yeah, that's kind of just how I do it in my head. Everyone has different methods, and it's honestly through practice that you find out what works best for you. Here I am just showing my pack of graphite pencils that I use. They're pretty good. I would recommend them, but also I feel like you can find better quality ones, but honestly they do the job, so I wouldn't pay too much for graphite pencils. Wait, I honestly love her outfit so much, and I think her hat is so cute. But also tell me if you guys are drawing along. I think that would be pretty cool. Also, if you're just listening and watching, that's also really cool as well. Okay, so I just wanted to get into the art tips for beginners or just people starting out with drawing in general. So I think the first key thing that you guys should focus on is learning the basics. Now this could be for whatever medium and for whatever type of drawing that you are interested in learning. So for example, if you like drawing humans and figures, maybe studying or going over how different parts of the human body, like the anatomy, work and function together, and studying how those shapes look like and getting your brain familiar with these type of shapes. Oh wait, quickly also, I am here just using another example, but this time I'm using a more simplified example, which is just this portrait of this really cute girl. And here I've simplified it as well to basic shapes, and I'm just drawing that, which is the same method that I used for the previous drawing. The next point that I want to go into for the art tips for beginners is just getting basic art materials. You don't need anything crazy expensive to start with. Just basic essentials for art, so literally just a pencil, sketching pencils or coloring pencils if that's your medium that you want to gravitate towards a sketchbook, or just a sketch pad, and then an eraser and all those essential sharpeners and all that. You really don't need that much to start with, and once you get more into the hang of things, you can start investing into nicer quality products and learn how to use higher end materials, because sometimes I feel even though they're the same thing, sometimes if I get a cheap colored pencil compared to a polychroma Faber-Castell colored pencil, I feel the quality is very noticeable, so sometimes you want to use them slightly different. But also artists like myself also get caught into the mentality of like, oh my god, I spent so much on this art material, I can't use it. But that's also not the right mentality, I feel like, because even though it's precious, you bought it to be used, so might as well use it. The next point that I want to talk about is figuring out what elements you like of other artists' work. So I just want to preface very, very strongly that I'm not saying copying your favorite artist's work. I'm talking about like the features you like of different artists' like styles or their pieces, or if you really like how someone did this a certain way or did something else a certain way, like not copying it directly, but maybe like elements or like methods that they've done to create a certain outcome. So for example, there was an artist a while ago when I was younger, I just have such a vivid memory of this. I think it was Milky Ways, at Milky Ways on Instagram. I really liked how she drew eyelashes, like they were really thick and like curved, and I remember I was like, oh, I want to try draw like incorporate this like thick flowy like eyelash style the next time I draw a cute girl, and then I did, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. So if you incorporate like different elements, obviously not for every single thing that you're drawing, maybe just for like some features here and there, I feel like that will generate an art style that you really like, and it's also a really fun process to do as well. So another example of an artist that I try to incorporate features on into my own work is Carlos from Instagram. I'll put their handle up on the screen, but I really like the sharpness and fluidity of their figures, and I'm kind of trying to recreate this like dramatic sense in my drawings as well, and I kind of like the sharp features of their figures, which is something I'm also trying to incorporate, because I just think it looks really like interesting and creates something fun to look at in a drawing, and also something that just like looks really satisfying. The next point that I want to go to is lots of practice and remembering that you won't always like what you create, and that's okay. Of course, practicing comes without a question, but we have to accept that we won't always like what we produce, and like we just have to be okay with it. Especially in the beginning stage, like you will be experimenting and you will like be trying new things. So I feel like you kind of have to have like a improvement mindset kind of, and obviously you can start drawing at whatever age. So I feel like this is why you definitely cannot compare yourself to other artists, because you are starting out. Like with any skill, you might not be amazing at the start, but yeah, artists are always improving. Like even if you are a really skillful artist now, or like whenever, you will always be experimenting and trying new things. Like there is no destination to being like a great artist. So this brings me to our last point, and that is to have fun. Have fun with what you're drawing. It's not that serious unless it's for a client or something, but drawing is not that serious. Like if you're just having fun, or it's something you want to do in your downtime, or it's just something that simply just makes you happy when you're doing it, just keep doing it. And I feel like that's one of the most important reasons, is for you to be happy while you're drawing or painting or whatever creative outlet you have. Stick to it. I think being creative is a really cool thing, and everyone should embrace it, to be honest. And besides having basic art materials, having fun is probably one of the most important points out there. But yeah. So that basically wraps up the whole video. I did keep it short and sweet. I do miss doing like a 20-minute video-ish, kind of. I kind of want to also make longer videos, maybe like 30 plus minutes, but I don't know if you guys would enjoy that, so do let me know whether you want to watch a 30 plus minute video, whether I'm talking or just music. But yeah, here I'm just drawing, I think it was a pose I found on Pinterest. I thought it was like really fluid, and I also drew those cute boots that I referenced off Pinterest as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, or if you drew along. Oh my god, please let me know in the comments down below if you guys drew along or not. That'd be so cool. But yeah, let me know if you guys found this video helpful, and let me know if you also want like a step-by-step, like proper in-depth, because I feel like this one was a bit brief. But let me know, and also if there's anything else you guys are curious about knowing, how I do things and my methods and all that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!